Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Doug Pinter on Daily Energy. I got Steve Miner
There we go.
in the house.
Hello.
And Kim Wolfram.
Hi.
Morning, Kim. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, I know you have to get out and teach our Silver Sneakers program.
Yep.
So I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to come in and
Definitely.
talk to us a little bit about Rocco Johnson and give us an update, or how about we talk about his story, how people can get involved, and maybe an update on what our good friend Rocco, the boss man Johnson's been up to.
Yeah, so we teamed up with his mom after she posted up a Facebook post in March, because it was Cerebral Palsy Awareness Month, just basically asking people to be a little bit more aware with children with disabilities and cerebral palsy specifically. And so Doug kind of took this idea, presented it to me, and just really wanted to make his life super special over this next year until he enters kindergarten and throughout his whole kindergarten year, because kids these days, you know, it's kind of hard to fit in. And so we just want to make Rocco feel like a rock star. So this past couple months here, he has gotten a lifetime membership at Anytime Fitness Peoria. He's a boss man there. He has his own name tag.
He's a celebrity.
And yeah, he's awesome there. So everybody loves him. We've also been on the news, kind of telling our story there as well. Civic Center hooked him up with March Madness tickets. So that was really cool. They're big sports fans.
Yeah.
Rob Kelch from Align Life North Peoria hooked him up with an adjustment, so he really enjoyed that too. Charbel and TC. He hooked us up at the Peoria Courthouse. He was a judge for the day.
Oh my gosh, did you see the pictures from that day?
Yes, he was loving it.
Rocco was in the judge's chair, and my buddy Charbel was in the where you get interviewed. And I mean, Rocco was about to throw the book at him.
He was hammering it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he loved it. He loves being in charge. Once he warms up, he's really shy at first, but
Yeah.
once he warms up, he's the boss.
He is 5 years old.
Yes.
So yeah, when you get lights, cameras, action rolling, he's a little shy. But man, at a couple of these events, he's really come out of his shell, and we've seen that Rocco that.
You just got to break that bubble, and once that bubble's open, there's no containing that bubble back in there.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Where else Rocco go?
So Stanley Steamers came into their house, and I think that was his favorite most of all. They worked with him to clean the carpets and the furniture and stuff like that, and he just loved it.
We're going to expand on
still
that a little
talks
bit
about
later
it.
about how
Yeah.
Steve and my good friend Mark that owns Stanley Steamer, you guys spent a whole day out there making this kid's day.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then the zoo hooked them up with a behind-the-scenes zoo tour, and the Peoria Playhouse as
Did he
well.
get to ride a rhino or something?
I don't know if that was on the agenda or not.
It was not.
But yeah, that was thanks to Yvonne Strode and the Peoria Park District coordinating that event. The Peoria Chiefs was amazing. Wow. I mean, he was a bench coach for Thursday's game a few weeks back, and he just loved that, especially his older brother too. Huge baseball fan, so
big shout out to the Peoria Chiefs, our friends over there. You guys and ladies really went the extra 5 miles to make Rocco's day. Big press conference signing, news stations. He was front of the paper.
Yep.
His brother got to throw out not one but 2 first pitches. The bats that were signed, the players really were awesome.
Amazing, yeah.
Juan, he was the first baseman for the Chiefs. He's already been called up. He was batting over 400 for the Chiefs. And he just received the St. Louis Cardinal Player of the Month award.
That's
that same day Rocco was out there, and there's no reason he should not have qualified for that award. I mean, he took off after Rocco when Rocco decided to do a spontaneous lap around the park, and ended up, Rocco didn't realize how large the field was, so Juan carries him in on his shoulders.
Yeah.
I mean, those pictures are priceless.
Amazing, yeah. Huge thank you to everybody who's been involved so far. In the future, there's so many, but near future, Chef and the Baker, they're naming a sandwich after him, right?
Well, it's in
amazing.
the works. My good friend Ian and Karen, who own the Chef and the Baker. Yeah.
So that'll be fun. He'll have to get in there and try that. I'm sure he'll love it.
If you're not sure where the Chef and the Baker is, I'll throw you a little plug in. It's awesome. If you're looking for some cupcakes that'll knock your socks off, go see Karen. She'll whip you up some. If you're looking for a great lunch, one of the best salads in town, packed with protein, go in, tell them I sent you, and get the Chef Special. And they'll send that out. It's awesome. They're right off Knoxville and McClure, right next to a computer facility, and I think American Legion is their next door neighbor. So check chef and the baker out for that new sandwich that they're going to roll out. And what else with that sandwich? All the proceeds from that sandwich over this summer will go back to the Johnson family to help offset the cost for the new leggings that Rocco will have to have.
Yeah, and just a bunch of treatments that he still undergoes on a monthly basis. So that's going to help a lot. We also created these T-shirts that are available for purchase on the front9foundation.com. You can order your T-shirts there. We just put the first order in a few weeks ago, and it just came in. So if you guys have ordered your shirts already, you can pick that up at Anytime Fitness in North Peoria, and they'll be ready for you. But you can still order shirts. It's not too late to do that. So just go on that front9foundation.com and order them still there. And
Please order up those shirts. I know my baseball team, we're looking to do a special day where Rocco's going to be the bat boy and we're all going to wear our shirts. A company based out of Chicago, but also here locally, is going to price match a donation for every shirt sold, dollar for dollar, and that money goes back to the Johnson family. So please, if your office staff, if there's 3 or 4 of you that want these shirts, get online, order them up, please. Tell us what people should be doing with these shirts when they get them.
Yeah, so once you get the shirt, we ask you just to do a simple short video or even just a picture with some encouraging words for Rocco, tagging us on social media. Facebook, it's Anytime Fitness Peoria. Instagram, it's Anytime Fitness Peoria IL. That way, Rocco can see all of his ninjas, that we call them, or supporters out in the community.
I know our friends over at Big Brother, Big Sister, all the ladies over in the office wore green in and sent a special message over. So it's little things like that that will keep Rocco's days bright and make sure that he understands he has friends in the community that will support him as well. So Kim, if you wouldn't mind, give us that website one more time where people can go and get these shirts and maybe donate their time, have Rocco come out and spend some time with them. So front9foundation.com. You can order your shirts through there. If you want to donate a service, you can email us at roccosninjas@gmail.com. That's roccosninjas@gmail.com. I always want to say G instead of J, but it's I think
ninjas.
you left an N out in there as well.
Oh no. roccosninjas@gmail.com. Rocco is spelled Roccos.
All right. So, Kim, I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you have some silver sneakers people waiting for you to teach that program.
Get going. They're excited.
Kim Wolfram, coordinating Roccos Ninjas with Anytime Fitness Peoria. Head over to that website, front9foundation.com, and you can fill out your information, get you or your company or your friends involved. Let's talk a little bit with Steve Miner, who I was calling Miner. And for probably, the last 2 years? I apologize, dude.
Yeah, a little bit like that, but it's okay. I'm used to it, so it makes me giggle all the time.
Well, and that's what I really appreciate about our friendship is you didn't correct me. Rather, every time I say it, you laugh. We actually had someone call into the show and remind me of how to pronounce your name. So, hey, speaking about Roccos Ninjas, let's stay on that for just a little bit. We highlighted Stanley Steamer and all that you do in the community, but one thing was that you guys went out to Rocco's home and you spent an entire day.
Yeah, they had a blast out there. Justin Robinson and Matt Ferris went out there. We got there first thing in the morning, and unfortunately Rocco wasn't awake yet. And so we got to learn a little bit more about his mom and everything else, and Rocco was really tuckered out because they had a long day the day prior. And so, like you guys were saying, he's a little bit shy when he finally woke up, and it took a little bit of coaxing to get him to open up out of his bubble. But we actually made him, and shout out to Jones Trophy because they got him a Stanley Steamer T-shirt with his name on the sleeve and an official shirt. And then Mark Hoagland, who runs the Dunlap JFL program, we got him an actual JFL jersey as well. And once that happened, he definitely just opened wide up, and the guys had a blast with him all day long.
And that's, I think part of this whole Roccos Ninja, the unique thing is, we're not asking for money. What we're asking for is your time to help teach or educate. This is the entire mission of Roccos Ninja, is to educate the community about cerebral palsy.
Right.
And when, if we put info out that you can read, sure, that is wonderful. But when you actually get to spend a day with a 5-year-old that has cerebral palsy, you get to learn so much more, not just what his challenges are day to day, but how he deals with it, his family, how they have to plan a little bit more. I know I take some things for granted.
Right.
And it just, again, makes you kind of pause. And Rocco is such a good kid. He's such a good friend of mine that, I mean, every time I talk about him, I smile.
Yep.
And you will as well if you get the opportunity to visit with him. So if you or your company or your friends want to get together and just entertain Rocco, trust me, he'll be the one entertaining you by the end of the day.
Some.
Jill is a friend of mine. She's offered to have Rocco to her house. She used to be a chef, I believe. Just bring him in and teach him a little bit about cooking, get him his own apron, make a deal out of that.
Yep.
So the options are endless. You take him to another Chiefs game, he'll probably introduce you to all of his friends in the dugout, coach, everyone, the GM. So yeah, if you're interested, head over to thefront9foundation.com and check all of that out. Let's talk a little bit about Stanley Steamer. The weather's getting nice. I imagine there's less flooding of the basements.
Yeah.
Now we're dealing with what? Pollens, allergies in the house, trying to get things cleaned up.
So I mean, we're still running into a few floodings in the basement when people are using the water spigots for the first time of the year. But the majority of what we're coming into is people are doing their spring cleaning. With schools coming out of session now, so everybody's trying to get it all nice and spruced up. And removing those allergens and dirts and grimes and everything from over the winter time. So we're getting a lot of carpet cleaning and hardwood, tile and grout, furniture. I mean, if it can be cleaned, you name it. Basically, we can clean it for you. But yeah, we're definitely booking those up pretty good and staying really, really busy with that.
I was fortunate enough to spend I don't know. I spent some time with my good friend Mark on a golf course yesterday at the Peoria Chamber golf outing, which hats off to not so much Jeff Griffin, just kidding, all the ladies, Susie, Haley, Shernika, the list goes on. Great job at the event yesterday, held out at Kellogg Golf Course. The greens were rolling great. Kyle Meager, one of the pros with the Park District. The outing ran smoothly. It was a beautiful day. I got to see Mark throw his tree throw his driver into a tree, which our good friend offered to scale up and get, but it's still out there on hole 18, off to the left somewhere.
So the next lucky person that ends up in the trees on hole 18 on the left-hand side might be awarded a free driver.
Well, I mean, if you hit your ball there, you probably shouldn't be playing golf. But anyways, my good friend Mark, sending the crew out, spend some time with Rocco and the group. I know one thing, a lot of homes going up for sale right now, and you guys are keeping busy going in, getting those cleaned up, prepping them for all of these showings. So if you're out there getting ready to put the house on the market, or it's already on the market and you just want to add that little bling to it, call up Stanley Steamer, then go to your website too. Is that correct?
Yeah, you can go to the Facebook page, which is the Stanley Steamer Peoria, Illinois. If you're going to search for it, website's stanleysteamer.com, or you can call us at 692-1990 and book your job, and we'll definitely get out there as quick as possible for you. And like I said before, we can basically, if it's inside your house, we can clean it for you. It doesn't matter if it's hardwood, tile, furniture, carpet, concrete.
You guys can
the
do
options
it all.
are limitless. So
unfortunately, when my house flooded, I got to see some of that awesome technology that only you guys have.
Yep.
I believe, is it true that you guys are the only ones certified to get up? Is it 99.8% of the allergens out of the carpets and the...
I don't know if we're the only one anymore.
Okay.
But we do, boast that we get a high percentage of that out of there for you. I know some of the other companies have made advancements as well, so I don't want to say that we're the only ones anymore, but yes, we do take pride in being able to do that for you.
And that's what you'll get, the honest answers from our friends over at Stanley Steamer. If you have pets, I have all sorts of allergies, dust and everything. I have asthma. My son, when we pack him up, it's like packing for a 110-year-old, all the meds he has, so many allergies. So when
And
you
this year
guys
it's
come
really
out,
bad for allergies too.
just all the pollen,
Yeah.
everything's popping
I mean,
at once.
Spring got completely, skipped, so everything's jumping forward and it's all hitting at one time.
So if you're out there, maybe you're sneezing at night when you're laying down to go to bed, if you're not sleeping well, you got that runny nose, if you want to clean things up and do it the right way, get our friends with Stanley Steamer out there. You can check them out at stanleysteamer.com, or what's that number again?
It's 692-1990.
All right. Let's shift gears. This is where most of my friends start hitting me up, reminding me of how terrible I am at sports and all of my analogies. Jeff Bach, he's probably at home. They're getting ready to have a child, so good luck to the Bach family. I do want to give a huge shout out to my good friend John Urga. He was my roommate when we were playing on tour down in Florida. John just won his second Mid-Am title, 3-2 over Blake Johnson at Hinsdale Golf Club. Hats off to you, Sudsy. Way to play, buddy. You still don't have the long drive champ belt. That's around this guy's waist. And you're going to get a piece of that action sometime this weekend, Sudsy, on the links over at Mount Holly. So just a little bit more about John Urga. He's also won the CDGA Mid-Am. He won that 2015 Illinois State Mid-Am back in 07 and 09. Congratulations to our very own, my good friend John Urga wins his second Mid-Am title. That's no small feat. So good for him. Hey, covering a little bit of the PGA Tour, Kevin Na leads the field at 8 under. Charles Hoffman, the loose Charles Hoffman, -7 under. Vegas at 6 under. Steve Stricker, who had a great showing at the TPC. The Players sitting at 5 under. One of our local guys, Ben Crane, tied with Justin Rose, sitting at 4 under. So
it's pretty tight.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of comical on SportsCenter this morning. They had a little conversation between Kevin Na and his caddy. Kevin Na was blocked by a tree. The caddy said, hey, we should lay up to this yardage, attack the pin, go for our par there. And Kevin Na said, what are you talking about? I'm going to hit a 40-yard cut onto the green. Well, he hit it right into the grandstands. Caddy was not very happy, and then Kevin Na got the free drop, chipped it in for birdie, so it all worked out. Kevin Na, your leader on the PGA Tour, sitting at 8 under, 1 over Charles Hoffman. Let's talk a little bit about my Cubbies. I know you're not a Cubby fan, but you are a Colorado Rockies fan.
Yep.
And they're on my list here. They're leading the West at 26 and 24. Hey, Cubs took an L the other night. Lester on the mound, pitched a gem. But Cleveland's young guy threw a no-no through 7 or into the 7th. The Cubs lost 1-0 to Cleveland. Local boy, Zach McAllister, coming out of the pen for the Indians. So he's on that team. So keep up the good season, Zach. Lester, 1 run over 7 innings, gave up 6 hits. He looked pretty solid. You know, with Lester, I think if he can keep his command the first inning and the second, that really sets him up for a long game.
Right.
It's when he gets a little loose. So the Cubs' bats just weren't swinging at that Indians rookie, though, with the no-no into the 7th. I can't read my writing here. The Cubs are in 4th place in the division, sitting at 25 and 21, 3.5 games back of the Brewers. They take on the Giants today at 1:20. Should be a beautiful game. And then Saturday, Sunday, plan out your weekend. Saturday's game, 6:15, and Sunday, 7:05 game. That'd be a beautiful night to get up there. Jeff Griffin got up there for that first game of the Cleveland Cubs series, where I think it was 10-1. Of course, Griffin was basking in his glory since he's from Cleveland, had his Cleveland hat on, just rubbing it in. So Cleveland came in and swept the Cubs there.
Yep. Cleveland looks good this year.
You know, Cubs pitching prospect Adbert, I don't even know how to say his last name, 2 outings. He's down in Nashville, 6 innings, 6 strikeouts. Out in Omaha, 1 hit over 7 scoreless innings. The Cubs plan on bringing him up first part of September. Keep that gem hidden a little bit down in the system coming up, but you can guarantee the Cubs bullpen is shaky at best. They've come in and blown some saves, so I think the Cubs have some work to do. It's only May, coming into June, so All-Star break, short 40 days away. Brewers leading the division at 31 and 20. Pirates 27-22, St. Louis 26 and 21, then our Cubbies. Over in the NL West, Colorado, 26-24. What are they doing?
I mean, they're playing good ball. The thing that scares me the most is their bullpen's giving up a lot of runs here lately. So the starting pitching rotation is decent, but as you know, I mean, Colorado's usually pretty notorious for being able to put runs on the board.
High scoring,
so,
yeah.
You know, and so that's helping them a lot. But I mean, their bullpen here lately has been giving up some decent amount of runs later on in the game. So that's kind of scary as well.
Well, you guys are doing something right. You're still leading the West Division 26-24 out in the East. The Braves, they're the real deal, 29-19. They look pretty solid.
Braves have been the surprise of the year so far, haven't they?
The only games I really got to see with Atlanta was when they played the Cubs about a week ago, and yeah, top to bottom, they look pretty solid. Over in the AL in the East, Red Sox leading with 34-16, best record in baseball. The Astros are up there, and then the Indians sitting at 24-24. NHL, let's talk about this. Golden Knights are playing for the Stanley Cup playoff. This could really put a dent in Vegas.
I wish I could go back in time and put down money on the 500-1 odds that they had originally on that, because man, who would have guessed that, you know, you'd have a chance to make out like a bandit.
So what Steve's referring to, Vegas opened the season, the Golden Knights, this is their maiden voyage as a team, first year in the league. They opened at 500-1. There's one casino out in Vegas. They took 13 tickets on the bet. $60 was the most bet. That will pay out $30,000 if the Golden Knights hit that game. That's just one casino.
Yeah.
There's several casinos out there. I heard the largest bet was 500. That's what I've heard so far.
If I remember correctly, what I heard on that, the $500 bet was when the odds had dropped down to 300-1.
I got you.
So, I mean, but still.
So 15,0's not a bad payday, right?
Yeah.
So Golden Knights, I mean, that's worth tuning in, just watching a little NHL hockey. Even if you're not a hockey fan, watch history go down. Speaking of history going down, LeBron James, get out of my life. All right, I'm done hating on LeBron. I can appreciate how good he is. I'm tired of the LeBron-Jordan comparison. Rose on SportsCenter this morning covered it. I thought he spoke very knowledgeable to the fact that Jordan was in his era, LeBron's in his era, and we just got to appreciate each one for what they've done and how they've paved the way. Boston leads that series 3-2. Tonight's game tips at 7:30 in Cleveland. Cleveland's 6.5-point favorite. I just don't know.
So my big question about this is, I know you and Shelby made a bet at the beginning of the playoffs.
I am so glad you brought this up.
Have you paid that off yet and done your 100 flight of stairs, or how's that work?
First off, there was no 100 flight of stairs.
Well, that's
because,
not what I heard.
I mean, I'm a realist. That would take me a month to get through.
I heard it was one shot.
What we did is we bet coffee on the first two series, which I lost, and I brought that coffee in. Now we got $20 cold hard cash on this.
So you're definitely going to come out.
Hypothetically,
yeah.
And possibly might make a little cash on that. So not able to dive too much into this. We're run short on time. We got about 2 minutes left, so Boston leads that series. I think Boston wins it in 7 in Boston. I think they will blow Cleveland. I think tonight's game will be relatively close. James will not get beat on his home court, in my opinion. I do think when they get back to Boston, Boston's youth will run circles around Cleveland and blow them out. Plus, the home team has held serve for the most part throughout that series. Actually, they have. Golden State against Houston. Wow. Golden State took a loss last night. I couldn't believe it. Rockets lead that series 3-2. But the pivotal thing, Chris Paul goes out with about a minute left, strained hamstring, goes in for an MRI today. Here's the line for Saturday's game.
Okay.
It went from almost a pick to Golden State minus 11. That's how big Chris Paul plays for the Houston Rockets. Now you're taking already a 7-man roster, in essence, on the court. Now who's that 8th guy that's going to pick up 40 minutes is what Chris Paul's been averaging on the floor. So lots of good basketball. Golf's shaping up. Stanley Steamer in-house.
Yep.
Look, if you're sneezing, you're coughing, you have your house on the market, you just want to put a little spring clean into your house now that the kids are home from school before they trash everything. It's hard having nice things with kids.
Yep.
Get a hold of our friends at Stanley Steamer, StanleySteamer.com, or what's that phone number again?
It's 309-692-1990.
All right, one last final plug. Dunlap Boosters golf outing coming up day after Father's Day, June 18th at Kellogg Golf Course. Again, Kellogg's in great shape right now. If you want to sign up, you can check it out on Facebook. Just search the Dunlap Boosters golf outing.
Yep.
We were supposed to get a link in here. Let's see if I got that link. Son of a gun, Mark, way to break it down. It is secure.perfectgolfevent.com. And check it out. You'll find the Dunlap Boosters football golf event, the first annual, coming up.
Yep.
June 18th. Get your sticks dusted off. Hey, everyone serving our country out there, thank you. Appreciate all you do and you sacrifice. You're a veteran.
Yep.
Thank you very much for your service, my friend.
Thank you.
Make sure you take time out of your weekend to thank those and just pause and appreciate what we have here in our great states. Steve, thanks for coming in.
Not a problem.
Everybody
Thank you.
out there, have a great Memorial Day weekend. Thanks for tuning in.
PeoriaLife.com